So let's try a T-chart to help fill out this Venn diagram. I'll try just using random points, but let's do non-random points and go in order and see what happens. So let's just start with, let's say, 0. So if you plug in 0 into here, 0 plus 2 is just 2. Plug in 1 for x, and 1 plus 2 is 3. And plug in 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. And you can kind of see a pattern. The x's are going up by 1. But so are the y's, but they just start off at 2. So they're always 2 above, 2 greater than. So 4 would be 6, 5 would be 7. So all those points are included here. 2, 4, 3, 5, and 4, 6, and 5, 7. And let's do the same thing for this other equation. And again, what we're trying to do is find something they have in common. And we're going to start off with the same here. Start off with 0 here, so we're going to do the same thing here. So this one, if we start off with 0, would be negative 0 plus 8. Negative 0 plus 8 is 8. Go to 1. Negative 1 plus 8, or 8 minus 1, would be 7. Negative 2 plus 8. And negative 3 plus 8. 5. And we got 4. Okay, so negative 4 plus 8 is 4. And we'll go to 5 since we did it on the other side. This would be 3. So we can write those in as well. So these points right here, are they all unique just to their respective graphs, or do any overlap? Do they have anything in common? You see even that are the same in both. Yeah, 3, 5, right? 3, 5. So that's the one that should be right here because it's actually in both of them. We put it in the middle and go ahead and erase it from there. And believe it or not, this is basically what you're doing for your assignment. You're going to have 2 different equations, and you're finding the one place where they are the exact same. So this is the only place. Now, what would you think, since you guys know how to graph both these lines, what would you say would be special about that particular point if you graphed it? What could it be? That's the one thing they have in common, so what would that look like on the graph? What's that? Will they cross each other? So let's go ahead and look at the graph of these two and see what it looks like. Remember, 3, 5 is the only thing they have in common. So if we graphed it, well, what do you know? There's the 2 lines. There's the first one, the red one, and there's the green one. And they cross at 3, 5. So the Venn diagram is just another way of saying where do they intersect. You're just trying to find the point they have in common. And there could be a lot of different applications in real life for these things. Basically, any company has to have at least these two lines. One for how much money you're making, and one for how much money you're spending. And as long as the making money is more than the spending money, you're staying in business. If you spend more than you make, then you go out of business. So it's a very basic rule of business that you can easily graph and see visually how your company is doing if one line is above the other. Of course, the right line has to be above the other. Okay. So this is what you're going to do for your assignment, is actually find out, well, where do they intersect. Okay? So let's go over to the worksheet, flip it over, and we can do that. So the idea here is if we graph both of these, it'd be the same thing if we made a Venn diagram of both of them. You get the same thing. Just what do they have in common? What point do they have in common? So let me do the first one right here on top in purple. Remember, we're going to start at the y-intercept, which is the b, or beginning, -1. And then go up to right 3. And we can go up to right 3, and you can also reverse that, and instead go down 2, left 3, down 2, and left 3. Now, since the answer is where these intersect, it's useful to maybe fold the paper and have a straight line, because if you don't have straight lines, they may not intersect where they're supposed to. So it's assuming that the lines are straight, and where they intersect would be the correct answer. And then I'm going to do the second one in green. So this one starts at, let's see here, 4. That's where it begins. So I'm going to go positive 1, 2, 3, and 4 up here. Now -1, as you guys know, really means, negative x means -1, which is the same as -1 over 1. So we still have to fill in those missing numbers for the slope as needed. So you go down 1 and right 1. Do that a few times. And you should see them intersect at a certain point. So this particular one here looks like they intersect at the x is 1, 2, 3, 3 to the right, and then it's 1 up. So 3, 1. And then if you read the directions, it actually says to cross out the box containing your answer. So we're going to find 3, 1 and cross it out. Okay. There we go. Now, if you keep looking there, you'll notice that one of them has a no solution. So what would that look like if you graphed it, if there's no solution? Okay. So remember, that would be if we listed all the points and they would never have anything in common. How could that be possible? Right, so maybe this would help. So if I make them both the same slope, will these ever cross each other? Nope. So can there be a solution? No. So this is, we have parallel lines. That'll give you well, there is no solution because the answer is where they overlap, and if they don't overlap, you can't have an answer. So that's how you get the no solution. Okay. All right. So go ahead and continue on that. We have a little bit of time now to start. Try to get 2 done, and then do 2 to finish up the rest tomorrow. Okay?